Chris here, and as I've done before, I took a look at one of the Windows Phone 8 phones for Sprint. It was the HTC ATIV, and I was pretty dissatisfied. So today I'd like to show you the Samsung ATIV S Neo, which I recently picked up. This phone is quite a bit better, mainly because the 8XT only had 8 gigabytes of space on it. So as a smartphone, you want to be able to do what? Use apps. And unfortunately, you didn't have that option with the 8XT. I only wanted to install one game, which was Spartan Assault, and unfortunately, there wasn't even enough room to install just that, after deleting everything. Anyways, with this phone, as you can see here, it basically looks like a Galaxy. There is really no difference. The only differences you have are that, of course, it says Windows Phone here, and you have the Windows key here. This phone has 16 gigs of onboard storage, and it actually works just fine. I've been able to install every app that I could possibly want to use on this phone with no problem at all. The lock screen, as most smartphones, I imagine, is able to sync with Twitter and Facebook, as I have here. You have the live tiles, which are really quite nice. I like them quite a bit. And one of the biggest things that I wanted was the ability to play Spartan Assault. So if you go to Games and Spartan Assault and boot that up, and it works just fine, which is great. Now, as far as options for smartphones on the Windows side for Sprint, unfortunately you do not have very many options. The only option you had before was an HTC Windows Phone 7, which you've seen in my prior video, and that was discontinued rather quickly. And then, of course, the HTC 8XT, which, once again, I've already explained the downfalls of it. As far as actual design, it's a better design on the exterior, in my opinion, just because it really stands out. This, since it can be so easily confused as a Galaxy, doesn't really define the phone at all. And it just makes it, well, it's another Galaxy. Nobody will ever question that. But I will say this, since the larger screen that you receive from this actually makes it this screen is the largest Windows Phone screen currently available. So for things like the game that I was just showing you, it'd be great, because honestly, you want more screen real estate to be able to put your thumbs on and control whatever it is you need to control. Camera is great. It's right on par with everything on this phone except for the memory, onboard memory. Is right on par with the 8XT. I would vastly recommend this over the 8XT though, just for the before stated reason. I mean, even without playing games on your phone, the simple fact of the matter is this will have more space, and you will need it if you're going to install any apps at all. Mainly, you just run out of space. Now, both phones have the ability to have micro SD card up to 64 gigabytes, but keep in mind, if you were to buy a Windows Phone, the only thing that you can do is side load any apps from this. You cannot install the apps to this card for whatever reason, probably piracy or something of that nature. They don't want you to do that. You also have a SIM card here, which is great if you ever choose to get away from the Windows Phone format. I will say this, Sprint is going through some pretty big changes, and it looks like they're going to be trying to acquire T-Mobile. I shouldn't say Sprint, it's actually SoftBank, which is a Japanese company that recently acquired Sprint. They're looking to try and beat out AT&T and Verizon in the upcoming months and years, so it'll be interesting to say the least. I think service and coverage will increase, but that's a different note. As it stands right now, if you are a Windows Phone, if you're looking in the market for a Windows Phone, it really makes a lot of sense to go with this right now. This is the best Windows Phone for Sprint. Hands down, period. The 8XT, despite how I like the way it looks and, you know, it stands apart in design, this phone does everything that the 8XT is capable of as far as camera, pictures, video, and then some. And it's mainly just because of the storage. And yes, it is $100 more, but you also get a $50 rebate when you purchase this phone, as it is right now. And more than likely, they're going to drop the price of these soon, just because, well, Sprint hasn't really supported Windows phones very much at all over the years. So, and it looks, I don't actually remember the last time they've had a Nokia phone on their lineup. So, considering Nokia is the primary builder of Windows phones, you are basically subject to Samsung and HTC's whims when it comes to it. Now, I will not say that HTC is bad all around, but the HTC 8XT, unfortunately, it just doesn't have enough space. So this is the clear hands down winner, and since there are only two, Windows Phone, Sprint, Samsung ATIV S Neo is what you go for. Thank you for your time, and hope you enjoyed the video.